The Council is really pleased to be here today working in partnership with the Improvement Service, Volunteer Scotland and Argyll and Bute Third Sector Interface, delivering today's event. The name of the event says it all, turning volunteer participation upside down. And the outcome we're working towards has the potential for real innovation and transformation. Working together has always been important, and thankfully it's something we do really well here in Argyll and Bute. In the current financial climate though, and the challenge that brings for all of us, is even more important now to find the best possible ways to work together. Collaboration, communication, conversation, they're all vital components of partnership working, and they're also key elements of making volunteering work. Throughout the day, the aim is to make those components a part of every session, to have a conversation rather than at the moment what we're doing, kind of broadcasting information at each other. I'm here today in my role as leader of Argyll and Bute Council, but Helens was my hometown and I represent the Helensburgh Central Ward, so I know from experience that the town has a huge number of committed groups and individuals who volunteer in a really diverse range of areas, and they really do make a difference. And having travelled across Argyll and Bute, I know there are similar groups and individuals making a difference in every one of our communities. I think perhaps one of the most surprising figures I've ever been given is when I was in Jura a couple of years ago. There were about 200 people live in the island. There are 26 voluntary groups and organisations running in that island. But while there's a recognised need nationally to grow volunteering levels, we are hearing that in Argyll and Bute volunteering is on the increase, and that's really positive. And having seen it firsthand what volunteers achieve locally, I'm not surprised that we are bucking that trend. Volunteering is so important for Argyll and Bute that it features in the priorities that the Council agreed last year at a political level. We see it as a key part of strengthening and empowering communities. People tell us that they want to get more involved, they want to have more ownership, more say, more participation in local life and local services. They want to support, to influence, to deliver, sometimes on their own and sometimes alongside partners like the Council. And that's why volunteering participation in Argyll and Bute is at such an outstanding level, that enthusiasm and commitment to place and to people's own communities. I'm conscious as well though that I often see the same faces, so there's a small core of people who volunteer over and over again. And while today's discussion is partly about how we share the load, the reality is that those who start to volunteer very often continue to volunteer because there are so many advantages for the person doing the volunteering as well as for those who benefit from it. I started volunteering as a teenager when I tutored primary age pupils and also set up an environmental action group in my own school. I then returned to volunteering in my early 30s, first as a member of the Children's Panel and then as an advisor of the Citizens Advice Bureau. And most recently I've become a trustee of the Helensburgh Winter Festival Organising Committee. And I have to admit that's definitely the most glamorous of my stints as a volunteer. Nothing beats getting up at 6:30 in the dark in December to spend a whole day hauling fencing about and directing traffic. But my volunteering experience has been invaluable to me, and I hope obviously to those I've worked with and for. I know that volunteering can achieve so many things for individuals. It can boost confidence, it can tackle loneliness, it can strengthen and builds a sense of belonging. It makes a difference, and hopefully much of the time it's fun. Everyone wants better outcomes for the place they live, for their own community, and we're lucky to live in Argyll and Bute where so many people are prepared to do their bit to contribute to those improved outcomes. Today though is a chance to take a fresh look at volunteering, how it contributes to our communities, how do we widen the opportunities available, and how do we get even more people involved. As I said at the beginning, this is about a conversation, a chance for us to listen to each other as well as to talk. There will be workshops later in today's programme looking at designing together a new action research project which will see local people able to work with and engage more closely with public bodies like the Council and our partners, working together on shared goals, on issues that really matter to local people, taking action together to have the biggest impact, to make a difference. In the midst of the challenges and changes that we're dealing with, it's great to be here today though with people who are already facing those challenges head on and already making a difference. Thanks very much for being here. and I'll hand back over to Clellan now to continue, and we're going to have quite a different discussion then at that point.